Hey everybody, I haven't done a live video in a while, so let me show you. There's Jolene over there being sleepy. Here she is. Anyhow, Jolene's being sleepy. Let me show you what I'm working on. I am chain plying, or Navajo plying, whichever way you want to call it. A hand spun yarn here on my Spinolution King Bee. And I don't know, these pretty, I don't know, you might not be able to tell in the video. Let me show you. These are the singles. They're like a pretty, they were the lemon yellow. It was from one of our past braid club braids, like lemon yellow, kind of taupey brown, and some like olive greens. They were like a lemon, it was one of our summer colorways. It was like a lemonade days, I believe was it. And I'm pretty sure this was Rambouillet. It was either, yes, this was a Rambouillet braid. So I've got my singles over here, and I spun them pretty thin. You can see the way I am plying them on my King Bee. Got them coming off because the lazy cake goes down the side. So I have them coming off here and then going underneath that peg there, so that as I am plying, it comes easily off the bottom without getting caught up in my drive band. So that's how I like to ply on the King Bee. You can see what I'm doing here. So move this peg. So for chain ply, I do have a troubleshooting video for chain ply. For me, the hardest part of chain ply is getting started. Once I get it started, it's good, but sometimes attaching, so don't feel bad because I literally just had this same exact problem. Sometimes attaching the singles, and then when you're kind of going the opposite direction of the way you spun them to set up the ply, can just make it kind of want to come apart on you. So I just always, I think in my troubleshooting videos said, just don't worry about doing the actual chain ply part yet. Just get it twisting onto the bobbin and then start doing the chain ply. And then other than that, it's just establishing an even rhythm. And I feel like different people do this different ways. The way I'm doing it is just pulling the loop back, walking it forward, pulling it back, and then just walking it forward. I am sorry, we've been kind of MIA. One of my big goals here is to make more video content and blog content. Here, I'll show you this at a different angle. We had a huge project, and this will be a slight spoiler alert. Here, let me bring this over. I always try to get different camera angles for people. So here's a looking down camera angle of the same motion. But we were doing a huge project. We were asked to be a part of the Twice Sheared Sheep Advent Calendar, which I'm really excited about, but it involved me and pretty much the entire Crafty Housewife Yarn staff caking, because we had to divide them up like a million's an exaggeration. 1,000, however, is not an exaggeration. We divided up and mini caked 1,000 mini cakes of yarn. And so I will not give away any more details on what the yarn is or the colors or anything, but if you are interested in an epic knitter advent box, then hop on over to Twice Sheared Sheep. And it is an amazing undertaking that my friend Dawn is doing. And I think this is like her 3rd or 4th year doing a knitter advent box. And we are, see, most of it isn't yarn. It's knitting accessories and all sorts of goodies that actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might be the only actual yarn in it, because a lot of knitter advent boxes are, you know, like you get a bunch of little mini skeins and then I guess you're supposed to knit them together. And she didn't want hers to be that way. Hers is, you know, like I said, her business is knitter accessories and tools. So I personally think that is more in keeping of what I think of with an advent box. So you can see with the chain plying, what I'm doing is I'm hooking it, pulling it back, and then letting them go together. So I'm hooking it with that finger, pulling it back, and letting it go together. Hook, pull back. And so what we're doing is we're letting this strand and this strand and this strand, so it's like making three, two of which that come off this hoop and one over here, and then we're letting those three ply together. So it's almost like a faux three ply. That's how I like to think of chain ply, is like a faux three ply. So when you're looking at the yarn itself, it looks like three strands of yarn together, but what it actually is lots of hoops, interwinding hoops. And sometimes you can get a little yarn booger there, and it's okay if you get, because I do this all the time, if you get a weird little, where like your hoop did something funny, I just let go of the hoop, and you can walk it in for a minute, but yeah, just let go of that last hoop, and it will untwist itself. And it's not that big of a deal. And you just untwist down to the part where the booger is, and then you can straighten it right out. So that's how you do. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about with the different plies. Well, I've got this one sitting here. I'm gonna put that over on the side. So this is, let me get my camera. Get it off the stand. Hi again. Now let me flip it. There we go. So, in looking here, you can see how my chain ply kind of, let's get the focus. See how it looks like these really tight little coils, and it kind of looks like three plies together. And what's cool about chain ply is it groups. So you see you've got like this yellow group, and it kind of color blocks really well. And you can see on mine, I did not do any sort of like major rhyme or reason. I just spun it, because that's what I do. I just I just spin it. I'm not separating out the colors for the most part. Every once in a while I'll do like something fancy, but I just literally stripped out this braid and spun it into singles, but you can still see the color grouping. But then with chain ply, when it gets plied, instead of being all twisted together, it is, hold on, I even had an example for you. Let me find it. It is color grouped. So this is chain ply, and then this was the last one I just did, which was another one of our monthly braid club braids. It's so hard to say that. And this one was just a traditional 2-ply, which was my first love of yarn spinning, was a traditional 2-ply. But you can see how the colors, I always feel like these look more like, 2-ply gives me a real vibe of like sea glass or something, where it's all just like a collection of colors all together in a basket, which I personally really, really love. So that is a 2-ply. And then over here, and obviously it's different colors and fibers too, but you can see how it's got that kind of faux 3-ply look, and the colors are grouped together. So there you go. 2 different ways to do a 4-ounce braid. So let me get my camera, where one of my other goals is to not film all videos in the world's worst. Sorry, about took Jolene out with my my tripod there. That wasn't very nice. Sorry, Jolene. One of my goals is to, with these live videos, not film them in the world's worst lighting, because I'm so bad about that. So these are, let's see, that's my spinning projects I'm working on. So for knitting projects, let me show you what I've got. What I'm about to cast off. This is, and y'all have seen this one a few times, but now it's actually big enough to show off what I'm doing. This is going to be, and of course I stopped like mid-row here, so I can't stretch it out like I want to. But this is going to be one of our free patterns or pattern kit patterns. And it's some custom yarn we dyed up, and it's a very simple fade project. So you can see it kind of gradually goes from this colorway to then this is both of them. And then up here, so you can see kind of from here to here is the other. So it's 2 different colors. That this was one color together, this was both colors together, and then this is one color together. So the way that works in this pattern But I'm writing up in here now. It's tangled in the bag. So now, see, I'm down to the very bottom here. So I'm about to cast off. These are, I divided everything up in a bunch of little balls. I think 4. Took pictures. I'll have to go back and count. But these are the last of the last 2. And you can see these are the same yarn. So I had some that were this colorway, some that were this more purpley blue colorway. And so then the way this is knit is instead of being 1 ply of like worsted weight yarn, is it's knit with 2 strands of sock weight yarn held together so that you can switch them out and get this cool fade effect, which I know people have been doing this forever and it was like the uber trendy thing to do. But I wanted to do something that was just really simple and would make something really cool. It's going to be just a traditional triangle shawl, and it'll be cooler looking here when it's blocked, but it's got kind of like a little eyelet edge going down there. So that's my project I'm finishing up. I will probably finish that up tonight. I'm excited. I've been working on that for a while, and I'm finishing it up just in time for the Earl Grey knit-along, which is going to be, see, Jessie, who's one of our staff members, you can find her on the Instagram as the Dancing Pines. She designed the pattern, and so she's going to be leading this knit-along in our Facebook group, and I'm actually going to be out of town. It is my 10-year wedding anniversary this month. Yay! And so my husband and I are going out of town, and I have a top secret spinning video planned because we're going somewhere that is fiber related. So you have to wait and see what that's going to be. So I'm excited about that, as well as just my anniversary and the trip and getting out of town. So while I am out of town, the staff is hosting this knit-along. So that kicks off this coming Friday on the 9th. We sold these kits up front so we could get the people that wanted to participate their yarn, because there were 2 colorways. There's this colorway, and then there was one that it was a different yarn base, but also from Satari that was had like a lavender and some more blues, whereas these were neutrals. If you were seeing this today and you're like, I want to do that, we can definitely order that yarn, and I will just get it shipped to you from Satari. So you might not be able to start right on the 9th, but they ship really fast normally, so you could definitely jump in. So if you are seeing this today and you're dying to do this knit along, it is not too late. Just go. This is the Satari, which is one of our favorite small farm providers. This is, let's see, the Mount Vernon. It is a DK weight, though it's a fluffy DK weight. I would describe it as a fluffy DK weight merino wool, and it's an American farm and mill that we love, and we carry all their stuff on our site. So if you are interested in knowing more about this yarn or Satari, go to craftyhousewifeyarns.com and find the Mount Vernon DK. So these are my colors. I have to cake them up. And I have to admit, after our giant yarn caking, I'm gonna have to like go beat myself up and make myself cake these, because I'm gonna take them with me for travel knitting. So I can do the knit along too. So that's our next big upcoming project. So I have to finish my fade shawl so I can be ready to knit along with Jessie. So we're really excited about that. So like I said, if you're not already in our Facebook group, it is the Handspun Yarn Love Facebook group, or if you just search Crafty Housewife Yarns, and I'll try to remember to add a link to this video eventually. But you can find us on there, and we do a lot of, like I said, even when it's not just me, the staff does a lot of fun stuff, and we're really good at answering questions. So that's what I'm doing. I think I gotta go, I was kind of playing hooky down here spinning. I have to go do all the business owner stuff here after I eat. I made buffalo chicken soup in the Instant Pot, which I'm very excited about, and it smells really good. So I'm gonna go eat that, and then I have to go get on my laptop and, you know, do all the things you do when you own a business before you go out of town to automate all the things. So we also have a sale going on, so 35% off. Go check it out. I believe the code is, because we always do a sale before I go out of town and ship everything. What's the code? It is 10-year trip. I believe that's the coupon code. It's definitely linked and listed in our Facebook group if you're in there. But I'm pretty sure the code is 10 trip 35. I will look that up. But go, it's definitely posted in the Facebook group and on our Instagram. So if you want to get anything, now's the time to do it before I'm not here. So anyway, talk to you later. I'm going to go eat lunch, but I hope you enjoyed my spinning and are excited about our project. And the wheel in the video, here, I guess I should do an official commercial. I need to be better about this. This video is brought to you by my Spinolution King Bee. It's fabulous. It folds into a box. It can have honeycomb bobbins. These are the 3D printed ones. It folds into a box. It has 8-ounce bobbins. It has a little sister named the Queen Bee and a big brother named the Worker Bee, and it's by Spinolution, and it's really badass, and I love it. So, if you would like more information on a Spinolution wheel, you can check that out on our website. So there you go. I made my own commercial. Have a good one.